1st of September, Rabbi Furst, Pierke, Avos, so far. Morning, Rabbi. How are you?
Good morning, Lou. How are you today?
Baruch Hashem. Thank you for the newsletter article.
You read your emails. Okay, very good. Perfect. Thanks for reminding me. I appreciate the reminder. To tell you, it's very important that I get that reminder because it's not always on my mind as the week goes on. So it's very well useful, the reminder.
Barry's on the phone. Barry, hi.
Okay.
I know I saw you and I admitted you. I just saw you and I admitted you again. I've admitted you twice. What happens? What's happening right now? Okay, that's good. Okay, let's see. I see you coming in.
Morning, Roy. How are you today?
Baruch Hashem, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay.
Hello,
Mayor, good to see you, Mayor. How are you this morning?
Baruch Hashem, doing well, thank you.
I see you.
Glad to see everyone here. Okay. Again, good morning. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Yeshiva Samad Navshi here in Yerushalayim, Zun. We're learning now about a short, what some of the basic reasons and regulations that were instituted by Chazal for the tekiyas that we hear on Rosh Hashanah. And let's see, I guess we can start, where do we leave? Well, we left off in the middle, sort of. I think we should maybe begin from this paragraph. We're in the middle of this paragraph, but it's probably worthwhile to do a little review. It says, Hine, the paragraph beginning, Hine Kasev HaShulchan Aruch. You see that there? It's sort of in the middle.
yes.
Okay.
Nay.
Okay. Barry was with us. He's how's he? What's with Barry? He's okay.
He's having trouble. He seemed like he was connecting. I saw him coming in, but he never got in, and then his connection was dropped. This has happened twice now, so I told him to reboot and try again. So hopefully he'll come in soon.
Okay. Resolution. All right. Let's see. We are in the middle of our sheet, as you see in the paragraph beginning. Hine Kasev HaShulchan Aruch. This is the part of the tshuva from Zilberstein that he is now bringing a information for us to understand the importance of only making 10 blows. And you can see several cases where the according to the Das of the Mishnah Berurah, if a person's in a very difficult situation, it's enough to hear 10 blows of the shofar, which is basically tashrat, tashat, and tarat. Okay, let's take a look again. We'll start just a running start. That paragraph beginning, V'hinei Kasev HaShulchan Aruch. Anyone like to begin to read?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Lou.
Hine Kasav Shulchan Aruch. Behold, it is written in the Shulchan Aruch. Shemi shemoder hana mishofar. Someone who vows to get benefit from a shofar.
So, to not benefit from a shofar, okay?
To not benefit? Where's not in there?
Well, that's usually what it means when a person's noider hana mina shofar. He's taking a vow from benefit the mem from the shofar.
Oh, I see. Okay. So he vows to not get benefit from a shofar.
Right.
Ain lo litkoa the shofar. He cannot blow the shofar. Ella Adam Acher Yitka the Averu.
Avoro for his sake.
Avoru. But someone else can blow for his sake. Because of Mishnah, and it says in the Mishnah, B'shem Hamate Afrish Sheba Sha'as Hadachat
Shastachak.
B'shash dechach, in a difficult time, she'ein lo acher, and there is no other. Okay, so what is this? B'shem ha-mita?
That she'ein lo acher muter la'atzmo l'tokea. That in the Mat Ephraim, he says that in a difficult situation, so it's like elo acher, meaning there's no other person to blow for him. So then he is mutter for him, this person himself, to blow for himself.
Right.
Okay,
But
got
didn't he
it.
say didn't he say he wasn't going to benefit from it?
He said he was not going to get benefit from it, but in the case where it's a shas dechak, right? So therefore, you can be more mako and allow him to do it if necessary.
Okay, but
Because
now
if there's
we're
no one else to
saying
blow,
there isn't another person available.
right? If there's someone else available, he has to let somebody else do it. If there's no one else available, so in spite of the fact that he has a neder, nevertheless, he is going to be allowed to blow for himself.
Right. Mutar lo ba'atzmo litkoa. Permissible for him to blow for himself. Rak she'ein lo litkoa ki im asara kolos. Only that he does not blow except 10 blasts.
Right, meaning the only thing he can blow is 10 blasts. That would be tashrat, 4, and then tashat, 3. That makes 7, and then tarat, another 4. Another 3 makes 10 total.
Dahayinu tashrat, tasat, tarat. Shehem me'ikar hadin. That they are the essence of the law. So this is according to the Shulchan Aruch, and it
Right.
disagrees with the Rambam.
Right. So this is going to be, right, the Rav Chai Gon. This is going to be according to Rav Chai Gon, right? Rav Chai Gon was the one who argued with the Shita of the Rambam, correct? Very good. Okay.
Umashma shesirale she me'ikar hadin kayal kishitas Rav Haye Gaon. So we can derive that the opinion that the essence of the law is I don't know what this kayal is. Is established?
That that the mashma, right? So it's mashma shesvir lay, right? That we are of the opinion like Rav Chai Gon, Kaimala. We established the halacha to be that of like the opinion of Chai Gon.
Okay, established.
Right. Kaimalan is to that we established, right?
Kishitas Rav Chai Gaon. Okay. She be'emes yotzim yedei chova b'chol hakolos. In truth, he fulfills through the obligation of each blessed.
Right. That according to Rav Chai Gon, the obligation is fulfilled with each one of the sounds.
Each one of the sounds. Below Keshitas Rambam, and this is not like the opinion of the Rambam. Sesvirle Shehu Safek Amiti. That his opinion is that it is truthfully a doubt.
Meaning until you blow all 30 sounds, 3 sets, each one, you're not going to be out of the doubtful question as to whether or not you really fulfilled your obligation.
Right. Let's see. Am I skipping the brackets?
You can read the brackets. It's okay.
The
But Iyun, take a look in.
iyun. Take a look. Behagos teva ketza
Ketza, right? Hamita, Ketza Hamita.
Al hamata.
On the Mate from that's a separate commentary on the Sefer Mate Ephraim.
Amata Ephraim. Shehala shechein das rov ha-rishonim. That it agrees with the majority of the Rishonim.
Yeah, all of that he concludes that likewise Shekain likewise is the opinion of Rov Rishonim. That is the opinion of most of the earlier authorities of the Rishonim.
What is the opinion of the Rambam?
It's tell you the truth, it's a little bit unclear, but it seems to be that the Rov Rishonim are holding like the Rambam, right? And not like, because he's wanting to bring a raya from the Shulchan Aruch, as he says now, but ain't raya, there's no proof. Therefore,
V'she'ein raya shehashoah
Shulchan Aruch.
The Shulchan Aruch, and it's not a proof that the Shulchan Aruch cholek al shita zu, that the Shulchan Aruch cholek argues with this view.
This opinion, apparently, this opinion of the Rambam, meaning most of the Rishonim hold like the Rambam. The Shulchan Aruch is not holding like the Rambam.
So what's it not a proof of?
That the the case that the Shulchan Aruch brought down, right? The Misha Noider Nona Shoifer Elo Tukeh Shoifer Ellen Kane, and then therefore we want to bring a proof that he can blow a minimal of 10. So what does that mean? A minimal of 10? That would seem to be a proof, not like the Rambam. The Rambam says you need 30, right?
Right.
So he's basically saying that it could be that it's not such a proof that you need only 10 to be Yotzi and not 30. Because you have a lot of Rishonim that are of the opinion apparently that you need 30 like the Rambam. So it's not 100% proof.
So in other words, the fact that most of the poskim agree with the Rambam is not a proof that the Rambam is right.
In light of the Shulchan Aruch, that the Shulchan Aruch seems to not be paskening like the Rambam.
Right. So in other words, we're not sure. We've got a powerful source in Shulchan Aruch, but we've got a powerful source in all the Rishonim agreeing with the Rambam.
Right.
V'chein muchach midivrei ha-mashnav Hamishna bet.
Mishnah Berurah. It's the Mishnah Berurah.
Mishnah Berurah. And similarly, I'm sorry. Therefore, it's provable from the words of the Mishnah Berurah. She kahal she shalchu la'ir acharta lehavi lahem shofar. What is she kahal?
Meaning it was a certain congregation.
I'm sorry, say it again.
A kahal is a congregation. So there was a certain congregation.
The congregation, shalchu, that they ask.
They sent the messenger.
They sent to the city, to another city, to bring to them a shofar. This is a new case.
Right.
V'nis akev hashaliach, and the shliach was delayed ad sof yom bet, until the end of the second day of Rosh Hashanah.
Right.
And it was this particular year, the Rosh Hashanah was on Yom Hey and Yom Vav, Thursday and Friday. The Shava im hashofer kavar hatafilalu shel Shabbat. And he brought the shofar after they had started davening for Shabbos.
Right.
So it's Friday afternoon, it's late Friday afternoon, and the messenger arrives, and they've taken on Shabbos early.
Right. So now the question is what to do. Go ahead.
Aval haya od yom gadol. There's still daylight.
Right. Meaning they dive in Kabbalah Shabbos already, but nevertheless it was still right. It was still daylight. Meaning it's not really the end of Rosh Hashanah yet, and it's not really the beginning of Shabbos yet.
Right.
So so the messenger comes in at the last moment here, and he finally brings them a chauffeur. So now what are you supposed to do in that case?
Ein sham baki litkoa. And there is nobody there who can blow. Shelo tibel alav Shabbos adayin, who didn't accept Shabbos upon himself. There's nobody there who can blow the shofar and didn't accept Shabbos on himself already.
Right.
Az yitka mi shekabel Shabbos. Then the one who accepted Shabbos will blow. Blow bracha without a blessing. Blow yitka rak tashras tasas tashat tirat. But he'll only blow 10 blasts with the 3 different sets. Below yoter and no more. And needs investigation.
Well, here, no, Ayin Sham means just take a look. Just take a look at there. I mean, just Ayin Sham.
Take a look. Look there.
Right. Surah Ian would mean it needs more investigation.
Ah, I see.
This is
Okay.
Ayin Sham.
So it's like a weaker statement.
It tells you if you want to see the whole. It's worth. It says basically what he's saying is it's worthwhile seeing the whole Mr. Brewer right there to see all the exact details, but not that there's anything specifically still unresolved about it. Meaning, if he says Surahian means there's something unresolved yet. But here, Ayin Sham means it's to your benefit to see everything there in the original.
See the whole picture.
Right.
But the picture is a complete picture.
Right.
Okay, so in other words, what he just did was he brought an actual case that's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch, which shows that the halacha is that you blow 10 blasts in a case of difficulty.
Right. So the question is, if it was this seems to be another proof, not like the Rambam. If the Rambam was the way we paskin truly in halacha, so you would probably have to blow 30 blasts, right?
Right.
In such a case, and that's what the Rambam would probably say in such a case, right?
Right. And the Rambam has the support of most of the poskim.
Right.
But why don't I haven't heard the terms b'di'evid and lichatchila or like that. I mean, isn't that the case that if let's say a community doesn't have a shofar, period. There's a poor community in the Ukraine. They don't even they're 1,000 miles from a shofar. So there has to be a b'di'evid for them.
Yes, I mean, so this is definitely b'di'evid, but again, you're in the. Let's take this last case for example. Okay, 2 days of Rosh Hashanah have gone by. Haven't had a shofar, right? They have had no shofar for the last 2 days Rosh Hashanah. It's now technically for them. It's now Shabbos,
Right.
And technically it's not Rosh Hashanah anymore, right?
Right. Okay.
So
there's 2 problems. It's on Shabbos and Rosh Hashanah is over.
right now, because it's still astronomically Friday and not Shabbos yet, right? So astronomically, they still have an opportunity to blow the shofar, right? For whatever it's worth. But if they're trying to accomplish blowing the shofar to fulfill their mitzvah, so that's going to be according to the Rambam, you're never going to fulfill your mitzvah unless you blow 30 calls, unless you blow 30 blasts.
But by the Rambam, he doesn't even consider a b'diavad?
So again, if the Rambam is of the opinion that each one of the sounds, you have basically three sounds. You've got shvarim trua, the combination of them both. You have the shvarim and you have the trua, right?
Mm-hmm.
According to the Rambam, we don't know. We are in the dark as to which one is the real one. We don't know, right? So the only way you're going to be yotzi is by blowing all three sounds. It's like you've got a cash box and you've got three padlocks on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way you're going to get into that cash box is if you open up all three padlocks. You got to get the right combination of all three of them. So that's the way the Rambam's looking at it. We don't know. We really don't know. Is it shvarim or is it trua or is it shvarim trua together? We don't know.
But if we knew, then we would just blow 10.
If we knew, right? But if we knew which one,
Yeah.
right?
If we for
Right.
sure knew which one it was, and everybody agreed on that one sound, then everybody would also agree that you only blow 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So according to the Rambam, right, it's like if you only blow 10, right, not 30. If you only blow 10, it's like you only opened one of the padlocks. You didn't get into the cash box.
But you are blowing all three. But if you blow all three, even if you blow all three, even if you blow only one of each of all three, wouldn't he also say that you're yotze?
Well, so again,
what's the magic number with 10?
No, because the magic number of 10 is that you need the very bare minimal, right? The very bare minimal is tashrat, tashat, and tarat. 4 for the tashrat, 3 for the tashat, and 3 for the tarat. That's your combination. The combination.
So that's 10.
Padlock number 1 is tashrat. Padlock number 2 is tashat, and padlock number 3 is tarat.
Right. But you only, but along with your muscle, Rebbe, it's one lock. In other words, it's not 10 locks of one key and 10 locks of another key and 10 locks with a different key. It's one lock of each, which according to your muscle is you could make one sound of each and you would be yotze.
Well, you again, but like it's the muscle I'm trying to present it in. You have three padlocks. You have three combinations. Yeah, so you're opening up one of the 3 padlocks is not going to open. You got to open up the cash box.
But according to him, you would have to have 3 padlocks of that one sound, and 3 padlocks of another one, and 3 packs of another one. No, isn't that what?
Well, you need 30 sound. You need 30 sounds, right? Because you need the 30 sounds because the Mishnah says, according to the Mishnah, you need 3 of each, right? You need 3 of each, right? So 3 times you have a set. Each set is 10. So 3 times the 10, it gives you the 30, right? Right. But that's what we're saying now. When you don't have the ability to do 30, so you can rely on 10. You can rely on 10, right?
Right. 10, 3 of each.
Right.
And then 1 extra, so to speak.
Well, because that's the Shvarim true.
Right.
There's a question. The Shvarim true is counted in 1 or it's 2. Yeah. So you have this dilemma, right? So you see what that in these 2 cases, the one in the case where he took the vow, and in the case where the shofar didn't come till late on Shabbos, right, or the last moments of Rosh Hashanah, which is a Friday, you see that the halacha is you only have to blow 10. And because again, if according to Rambam, 10 does nothing for you, right? You haven't opened up the cash box yet without
Mhm.
opening up all three. According to the Rebbeinu Chai, so at least by blowing 10, you haven't done everything, but you've done everything at least with the right. So you've done everything on a minimal level.
Mm. All right.
He'll explain a little bit more. Let's see the next paragraph. V'im kain, if so, near it seems.
Im Cain, Nireh, if so, it seems, She Mekevan, She Halcha, Kavar Hai, that since that he already came, Hare,
Shehalacha kirebi chai. If so, it seems as if the law is like Rev Chai going.
Karav Hai. Okay. Hare she meikar hadin yotzim yedei chovas hamitzvah deraisa. Behold, that the essential law is that you fulfill through the obligation of that you fulfill in a deraisa obligation. B'shmi'as gimel pei.
Gimel 3 times. Gimel pamim.
Gimel pamim, that you hear three times tashrat. According to the Rabbi Chai, you essentially fulfill the deraisa obligation by hearing tashrat 3 times.
Yes. See, Barry, that's where you get your 3. You get your 3 threes over here, which gives you 10.
Right.
It's actually 12,
right.
isn't it, Rabbi?
Well, again, you can count the tashrat as 4. You can count it as 3. If you count it as 4, you're going to get 12. If you count it as 3, you're going to get 9. So what they do is they just basically count it as to make that like 10.
They compromised.
Yeah.
Ve'im kain nir'eh she'adif lishmo'a gimel pa'amim tashrat. Therefore, it seems that it's preferable to hear tashrat 3 times. Im habracha, with a blessing. Me'asher tashrat tashat tarat b'li bracha.
Right.
Better than to hear the 3 sounds without a bracha.
Right. Okay.
So we're talking about 10 blasts in either case. In one case, we have 10 blasts that are all tashrat, and there is a blessing. And the other case is that we hear the 3 different sounds, but it's again 10, a total of 10, and it's without a blessing. It's
Right.
better to do the first one and have the blessing.
Right.
It contradicts the Rambam, because the Rambam would say, no, you need all 3 sounds, otherwise you haven't unlocked the locks.
Right.
Hare nis bar she birkas hamitzvos hu chelek me mitzvah. That behold, what is nechbar?
It has been explained. That's what had been brought when we brought the Ritva 2 or 3 paragraphs above.
Okay. So behold, as it's been explained, that the blessing of the mitzvah is a part of the mitzvah.
Yes.
Ulafi ha Yerushalme, and according to the Yerushalme, who midiraisa, the blessing is a Torah obligation.
Right. So now,
No, that's the problem.
well, yeah, because at this point we're saying, right, that it's better to listen to the 3 times tashrat along with the bracha, right, rather than hearing the 3 one tashrat, one tashat, one tarat without a bracha. And also, he's already explained that the bracha is also, according to the Rishami, considered to be part of the mitzvah as well.
Right. And that's why it's better to hear the bracha with the 1 sound 3 times than to hear all 3 sounds without the bracha.
Right.
Im kain nir'eh she ma'alat habracha adifa. Therefore, it seems that the ma'alah is to go up.
The mala is it goes up, but that means that it's an advantage. It's a preferred advantage.
So basically the bracha is preferred.
Right. Adif means near shemailas a bracha adif. It seems therefore that the advantage of the bracha is preferable.
Advantage. Is preferable. V'yitakein lomar shebirkas hamitzvos shel shofar he chamura yoter. So what's yitakein?
It's possible.
Possible?
Yes.
It's possible to say that the blessing of the mitzvah of shofar is more strict.
That you're talking Omer, it's possible to say Shebrakas a mitzvah shel shofar he chumra yoser. That it's possible to say that the bracha on the mitzvah of the shofar is more serious or more weighty.
Serious. More serious than what?
Than a normal bracha on a mitzvah.
Oh,
Explain. It could be the bracha on the shofar is more serious than a normal bracha on any other mitzvah. We'll see how he explains it.
shebe bracha zu Kishimivrach. What is Kishimivrach?
That we say Kishimivorach when they make the blessing. Baruch, this is Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Olam, right?
Right.
Hashem Kedishanu b'mitzvah Sav, right?
Are you reading? I'm lost.
Okay, what he's explaining what the Chumra Yisera, what's the why is the bracha of a shofar more serious than any other bracha, say on a sukkah or on tzitzis or on tefillin? Why would the bracha of shofar be more serious than other brachas and mitzvahs? Kishimivorach, because when you make the blessing, quote, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu Melech Haolam, Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvah Sav V'tzivanu, right? Right? Why should that? Why in those words? Why do those words of that bracha make it more serious than other brachas? He'll
Okay.
explain. He'll explain.
So okay, so what is Bet Aleph Yud?
Baruch Atah Hashem.
Elokeinu Melech Haolam. Okay, that's a quote. Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvot Sav V'tzivanu Kule. All right, so that's just quoting what the bracha is.
Right.
Mekayim Anin.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. What is the reason why this bracha is so special? Didn't make that connection.
Right. He's in the middle. He's in the middle of the explanation now.
Okay.
Hold on. You're right, because we didn't read it right with your question, because we didn't get to the answer yet.
Okay, so it fulfills the matter shall birkas malkios of the blessing of kingship. She amnam chiyuvo rak b'derabanan. What is she amnam?
That when we've in the saying of those words of Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvah Sav V'tzivanu L'shmoya Kol Shofar, we were mekayim the Indian shel brachas Malchius. You fulfill the concept of the bracha of Malchius, meaning the sovereignty of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's don't forget, it's Rosh Hashanah after all. It's the day that we mamlech HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the day we coronate and establish HaKadosh Baruch Hu as being the king over us in all aspects of our lives. So therefore, when we're saying the bracha itself is a statement of that fact as well, right?
Right.
Meaning, she'amnam chiyav rakman, the rabbanan that granted the obligation is only mid the rabbanan. And he's conceding the fact that really, even the Rishomi says that Birkas HaMitzvahs, all Birkas HaMitzvahs are deraisa. And this Birka of Birkas Shofar, because it's Rosh Hashanah, can be more serious because it is in fact a fulfillment of that we're assuming and accepting HaKadosh Baruch Hu's sovereignty and monarchy over us on this day of Rosh Hashanah. And granted that the bracha is only midrabanan, meaning the actual words that we say are the words that the rabbis have taught us what to say. So granted, he's granting you that fact. However, nevertheless,
Wow. Yesh lo asmachta me ha Torah, but there is for this concerning this a hint from the Torah. Im Cain, therefore, ma'alos elu adifos. Therefore, it becomes, these become preferable al shemias shat tarat. They become
Adifus, there's an advantage over this than over the listening to the Tashat and the Torah.
right. Preferred is the word I wanted. They become preferred.
Right.
Shetukno mida Rabbanan, that he blows according to the rabbis, Rak Kedei Shekol Yisrael, only in order that all the Jewish people Yiska'u Osam Teki Os, that all the Jewish people will hear the blowing.
That according to the Rabbanan, it was established, right, that you have to say these words according to the decree of the rabbis. But nevertheless, we still see that there's an asmachta from the Torah. There's a support to the fact that this bracha is coming from the Torah itself. Therefore, the advantage of saying this bracha is more advantageous than listening to the Tashat and the Tarat, which were also decreed as a rabbinical regulation, in order that each one in the Jewish nation should hear the same tekiyos. Meaning, hearing the Tashat and the Tarat is a pure rabbinical regulation that we should all be doing the same thing, right? Again, the basic question was, if you remember, the basic question was, you have two choices, and they're both based on the fact that they are rabbinical in nature. The one is making the bracha, which is in essence a rabbinical obligation. And the other thing is listening to the Tashat and the Torah, which is also rabbinical in nature. But he's now clarified the difference between the two. The rabbinical regulation of listening to Tashat and Torah, the extra 20 blows of the shofar, that's something that was instituted rabbinically in order to create uniformity, homogeneous fulfillment of the mitzvah amongst all of Klal Yisrael. So in order to that, there should be a uniform fulfillment of the mitzvah of Tekiyas Shofar. The rabbis decreed we all should do all Tashat, and Tarat, and blow 30 blasts to make it uniform throughout all of the Jewish people. That's a clear, absolute regulation, rabbinically instituted for the sake of uniformity. In contrast, making the bracha, it's also a rabbinical regulation, but in this case, with the Tekiyah, the shofar, it also has elements of derisa within it.
Because of kingship.
Because number one, because of, in essence, according to the Rishalmi, brachas and mitzvahs are derisa. That's number one. And secondly, that it also declares the kingship, the monarchy, the sovereignty of the Kadosh Baruch Hu over us is what, and which that is a major part of our avodah on Rosh Hashanah. So there's a clear advantage in making the bracha rather than listening to the 20 other sounds of 10 Tashat and 10 Tarat. So far, so good.
I understand it.
Okay.
Meir is shaking his head.
No, I have it now. I was shaking my head because as you were reading it, I think I was writing something slightly different. But now I have it.
How do you understand it, man?
Well, I just thought that it was an advantage to hear the Tashat and Tarat, which was established by the rabbis.
Well,
So-
there is the question is which is more preferable, hearing the bracha, or blowing the tashat and the tarat, the other 20 sounds. They're both, in essence, when you look at them, they're both rabbinical
Mhm.
regulations. The question is which of the two rabbinical regulations is preferable to do.
But you
Okay.
have to, you can't make the brachos unless you're going to blow the shofar. You have to make the brachos.
Right. So the question
No, you
is,
don't.
So where do we come? So why not?
You can blow the shofar without making the brachas. That was one of the cases.
I
It's a
understand.
choice whether
No,
he
but if you
whether
blow
he would
the,
hear the
but-
bracha in 10 blows or whether he would not hear the bracha in 30 blows.
But Rebbe said before that the brachos establish the malchus of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we're trying to do on Rosh Hashanah. We're trying to be avodim to
Right.
Hashem.
right, but the bracha is only on the mitzvah of the blowing of the shofar. So when you're making that bracha on the mitzvah of blowing the shofar,
Yeah.
by doing that also you have an added element, an added component of fulfilling the malchus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Right.
Right. But it has to be accompanied with the blowing of the shofar, at least with a minimum of 10 blows.
Right. Right.
But I'm confused because we switched cases.
Yeah.
Initially, we were talking about he doesn't have time. So I can understand he doesn't have time. He's got to either hear the 10 or hear the 30. But now what we're saying is we've removed that problem. It's broad daylight on Friday afternoon, and the messenger has arrived, and there's nobody available who has not taken on Shabbos. So we're going to have somebody who has taken on Shabbos doing it, and he's going to say the bracha and do 10. But he has time. Why doesn't he say the bracha and do 30?
Well, again, because the way the case was set up, that he doesn't have time to do both. If he makes the brachas, he can only do 10. And if he does 30, he can't make the brachas. That's the way the case was set up.
Right. Okay. So
Didn't
if
we
you make the
change
bracha and you do
case?
10, showing you make a bracha and you do 10 and you're covered.
Right. So that's the way he seems to be indicating. Up till now, that's what he seems to be indicating what you should do. Right. Okay, look, we'll need to try
In other
and
words, so
finish
the
it up
question
tomorrow.
comes down is what's better, the brachos and 10 or no brachos and 30 sounds, right? That's
Right.
the
right.
problem.
That's right. That's right. And at this point, he's leaning towards saying the bracha with 10 and not 30 without the bracha. But
Right.
we're not done yet. We're still in the middle of this. We'll try and finish it up tomorrow. We'll see. If not, we can finish it up on Yom Rishon. We have a few days next week. Rosh Hashanah is on Yom Shalishi, correct?
No.
correct. Well, it
Yeah.
starts Monday night.
Yeah, right. Starts Monday night, so will
Oh,
be able
Monday
to.
night. Oh,
Monday-
okay.
Which is Yom Shlishi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
very good.
Hello.
So theoretically, we'd be able to learn on Sunday, and if you want, we can have depending on everyone's schedule. We'll have to see maybe on Monday morning as well. We'll see. We'll get we'll get into next week. We'll discuss it more as we get closer. That's what I said.
Okay.
Okay, everybody should be in
Very
good health.
Amen.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
We're on break now?
Yeah, take a little break and we'll start the Mr. Bruce here in another few minutes or so.
Okay,
Bye.
very good.
Okay. See you all soon. Roy, have a good day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you soon.